Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the webinar for Campaign 100. This is one of those wonderful initiatives by our association, by the foundation of the association, to make sure that we have enough funds, we have enough resources in the future to continue to support our clubs and our districts, Lions around the world for all the service that they are doing. We are very well aware of the success of the foundation. And this success has been possible only and only because of what the Lions across the entire world have done. It's been because of their contributions. Today, we take pride in saying that we are the finest NGO in the world. We were just by the Financial Times of London the last time they did that survey as the number one NGO. And we have made a grant of more than 118 million towards disaster relief. We have restored sight to more than 30 million people. We have been able to impact and touch 16 million children and youth through the Lions Quest programs, and through the two successful campaigns, we have invested more than $400 million in our Sight First program and the measles program, the vaccination program, where we could touch 87 million children, has also been a runaway success. And overall, we can take pride in the fact that our foundation, through our foundation, grants exceeding 1 billion have been granted. Now, if you look at it, who received these grants? Where did this money get invested? They got invested only and only in the programs that the Lions have been running across the entire world, in all constitutional areas, almost in all countries. Whenever there is an appropriate opportunity, whenever there is need, whenever local funding is not sufficient, or the funding from one or just a few clubs is not sufficient, but that need is great and it fits within the parameters of the foundation has always been there to provide support. The association started in 1917, but we started the foundation in 1968. It was after the association had become of age, the right age, matured, that this foundation was started. And once we started this foundation, we've never looked back. There is one essential difference between this campaign and the two earlier campaigns that were run by the foundation. The two earlier campaigns were Campaign Sight First and Campaign Sight First 2. Those campaigns aimed at raising funds which would be used for the Sight First program, that's eradicating reversible and preventable blindness, supporting the efforts and the work and the initiatives, the programs of the Lions across the world in preventing blindness. That was a core program which the Lions had adopted since 1925. But this campaign is about raising funds for the overall, for the comprehensive use by the foundation. And this comprehensive use actually takes place through the various grants that are awarded by Lions Clubs International Foundation. And these grants really is the application of the funds through the Lions Clubs and the Lions districts. There are humanitarian grants, Sight First grants, disaster relief grants, and then now we have more recently introduced the Leo grants and the district and club impact grants as well. On your screen, you are seeing various kind of grants, and in this particular webinar, we will not go into the details of each of those grants, but it is important to understand, first, be convinced ourselves why we need the funds. If we don't have the funds, how are we going to support the clubs and the districts? How are we going to support the emergency grants? Just for an example, we are now getting into the rainy season in this part of the world. Almost, I use the word almost, and God willing, we don't need it, but we all know it, that we very often need it. In this part of the world, that is in India and South Asia, and all the multiple districts joining this webinar are coming from India and South Asia. About 50% plus districts need emergency grants around these 2 or 3 months because of the floods, because of the rains, and each request has always been honored. There is not a single request which has ever been turned down by the foundation. Now, how do we get those funds there? We get those funds because we need a pool. The pool must always be replenished. And this campaign 100 is about replenishment of the pool so that in future we continue to have the resources, and the resources are sufficient so that the service projects and the programs with the support of the foundation can be even more vitalized. And this campaign is about, what's the target of this overall campaign? It's about 300 million US dollars. Not about, it is 300 million US dollars. And if we peg the dollar rate to 70 Indian rupees, we have some friends from Nepal and Pakistan also who are joining us in this webinar, and you can convert it in your own currency as well. It exceeds almost 2,100 crores Indian rupees. I mean, look at the extent. Sometimes we really do not realize what 300 million is, because we are not dealing with dollars and millions in our country. We are dealing with lakhs and crores. It's 2,100 crores plus. Now, can you think of even the biggest foundation in the country, run maybe by the biggest business house, the most successful business house? Where is even the biggest foundation raising funds, 2,100 crores to be deployed for service programs, for community development programs? But we, the Lions, are doing it. You, me, friends like us across the entire world, Lions in all those 50,000 plus clubs, 750 districts across the world, when everybody pools in their resources, when everybody pools in their energies, everybody comes in together, this is going to be a reality. The first two campaigns which we initiated, we had exceeded the goals. And I'm sure with everybody's support, every Lions support, every club support, the goals will be exceeded here as well. So in this campaign, the funds that we raise would be required to expand the global causes, the support to the global causes. We are aware of the global causes. We work regularly with the global causes in all our districts, and there would be deployment of funds in fighting diabetes and increasing. In short, if we may say, it's all about increasing our service impact. We want to increase our service impact. We want to leverage our services. We want to reach out to as many as possible. And basically, as they say, even if you need to fight a war, you need money. You can't even fight a war without money. So even if you want to do good work, you want to do work for the community development in any part of the world, we need funds. Of course, we need human resources. We need individuals to run the programs. We need volunteers to support those programs. Nothing will happen without them, but we need funds. We need resources to support and keep our programs going. And this is all that the campaign is about. And this campaign, in this entire issue, the focus is about increasing the awareness for the LCIF. We have many Lions, we have many clubs. In fact, in our part of the world, and let's look at our own districts here in India and South Asia, the multiple districts that are joining this webinar. You look into it and you will be astonished that about 50% of our Lions in our districts today are less than 5 or 6 years old. We are young nations, even our districts are very young in terms of the age of membership of the Lions is concerned. And the older members definitely know about the foundation. I'm sure they do. Most of them would do. But the newer members, have we really taken care to tell them about the foundation? It's not their fault. Basically, if something's going wrong, we, the senior members today who are in the office of the DG teams, area coordinators, district, multiple district coordinators, zone, region chairs, the senior members, I would say senior in the sense who've got more years into this association. We've got to take this responsibility of taking this message of what this foundation is all about, the success stories of the foundation. And we need to tell those who are joining us, who are joining this, and we need to tell them the stories, how we are trying to impact the world. It's not that we can take away all the misery from the world and we can make it, a problem-free world. We don't even claim that. That's not possible. But we are making a very big impact in the areas where we have been working. And in doing that, we need to increase non-Lion corporate and foundation awareness. How often do we make sure that we do that? Say in your own districts. going to the chambers of commerce, going to the chambers of industry, going to the big corporate houses, telling them, showing them some presentations about what we are doing through our foundation, how many hospitals, how many blood banks, how many schools, community development centers, vaccination centers, dialysis centers, how many of them are we running? I mean, we are doing such a lot. We need to go out to the business houses. Today in our country, there is so much support coming from the CSR. But how much of the CSR are we really using? We need to be able to use that CSR. And one more thing is that in today's world, it's, if we look at it, if we look at this campaign 300, there are basically three, I would say, three major kind of I would say three major ducts through which the funds would flow in. There is first duct is large donors, big donors. Big donors is big tickets, and that's big money. Important, very important. We respect them, we honor them, we recognize them, and we should. Somebody who gives us the big money, big tickets, we need to really give them that respect for the support they are providing to the foundation. But together with that, we also need to make sure that we can get as many lions as possible involved and engaged with this campaign. Even the small money multiplied by the big numbers is ultimately the big money. You see, we are often missing out on the small donations, at least in this part of the world, our part of the world, India and South Asia. Small donations, $50, $100, $200, $300, $400, maybe $50, that's say 3,500 rupees, or say 3,000 rupees annually. I mean, how many members can we get to commit that they would give 3,000 rupees annually? Over the 3 years, they would give 9,000 rupees. If we can get 1,000 members like that, do you understand do we even understand the potential? I mean, that's the potential of this organization. The real beauty of our organization is that the small drops really make up the ocean. This organization is about the common man, the common individual, the common person who does. And amongst us, there are some who will be big donors, and we will always be grateful to them. We'll always recognize and respect them. But we need to go to every club, make sure that we can get the involvement of every club, every line into this entire program. And then, of course, in a country like ours today, and in the South Asian countries also, the corporate social responsibility funds, that's a very big resource. We need to be honest to ourselves. How good have we been at tapping that potential? Are we really tapping that potential 100%? We will get support from the foundation, from the Mumbai office, where Mumbai office has recruited individuals to support these efforts specifically. This support would be there once we ask for the support. We need to go out. We need to tell them, we are going to this and this business house. We need presentations, support us, give us material, give us backup material which we can carry, and they would be supporting us in every way. We need lions, basically, to donate, lions to volunteer, and lions to advocate. I mean, this is our campaign. There may be somebody who's the chairperson of the campaign. We have past President Yamada as the chairperson of the campaign. We have past President Frank Moore as the vice chairperson of the campaign. Our LCF chairperson is going to be joining us, and we are also lucky that you will be hearing her in the next few minutes. She will be giving her message, and we will get an opportunity to listen to her. But basically, this is every Lions campaign. This is not a campaign that can be run by the chairman or the vice chairman or the international committee or the area leaders alone. This has got to go down to become every club's campaign, every member's campaign. If we can do that, and we can get more and more and more Lions to donate to the extent that they are comfortable in donating, to advocate, to volunteer, to work with this campaign, I think that's going to be the real success of this campaign. Before we move forward now, I am going to request, and this is our pride and pleasure, and it's such a privilege that we have with us our LCF chairperson. I'm going to request LCF chairperson Gudrun Ingadottir to please address us now.
Thank you, AP. This is a great opportunity. Dear Lions of India and Southeast Asia, it's a pleasure to meet you this way now. And I have had the pleasure and privilege to visit many projects in India for the last week, and most of them have been supported by our foundation. And it's remarkable. It's like a miracle to see what we can do together. The Lions, the local Lions, and the foundation together. So that's why I'm so pleased to meet you this way tonight, just to encourage you to participate in our most ambitious campaign we have ever done in Lions. It's a very exciting year for me this year to be the chairperson of the foundation. When we are in our second year in our campaign 100, our great opportunity to really to contribute to our communities. And you have all heard the great overview from past director AP Singh, giving you the history and all our goals and how we're gonna reach our goals. And of course, it's a teamwork that is needed, that we all work together. And not only, as mentioned, those who are in the structure to organize and run the program, but down to every single district, to a club and to a member. And I encourage you to really to think big. This year, these 2 years we have left, this year and next year, I encourage you to do a little bit more than normally. Most of us, as individual members or clubs, we normally donate to the foundation. We have some goals, we have some traditions and how much we give. And if we can double it now, we will reach our goals. And it's up to each and every one of us to really to do our best. We love our foundation, we love our club, we love our community, and we really want to do something good. And we count on our foundation when help is needed. Sometimes because of natural disaster, or sometimes just because we really want to do a big project and we cannot do it alone. Then we have a big help in our big brother or our big sister, the foundation. They can help us. So have you ever thought about what the foundation is doing for you, for your community, and how the foundation has helped your club? Either in your community, or some of you might also have been doing projects in another country where the need is even bigger than in yours. So if you look at all those big and beautiful examples of what we have accomplished, then we are so proud. We are so proud, and we are so ready to do more. And I have been very proud of being a Lion, and also so proud of what the foundation has done to help to improve our communities. I've been so proud now when I have seen all these beautiful projects here in India this last week. Also, as I have traveled around the world last year as a president, Lions were always so proud to show me great projects. And in most cases, the most important and maybe most successful project they were doing were always supported by the foundation. And maybe we had some discussions about how they raised the funds and how much they supported the foundation. They very often thought only one way. We get the grants, we get the support from our foundation, but how do we support? How do we get all the money? You know, it's our money. We find it in our own pocket, or we raise it in our community, and we give to the campaign or to the foundation. And I thank you so very much, Lions around the world, for your contribution. You have been very generous to the foundation, and we do it in many ways. Of course, Melvin Jones Fellowship pays a lot of the cost. It's a big fundraiser, Melvin Jones Fellowship. I thank you all the Melvin Jones Fellows around the world. And I thank you also for just a single club that raised funds to give to the campaign, because they know there is a big natural disaster somewhere and they really want to help. And they raise funds, they have fundraisers to be able to support. And now we have a special pledge. We have a special request to the members of personal donations. And as AP Singh said, we don't ask for much. So it may be easy for some of you to give a lot of money, but it might be difficult for many of us to give just a little. But we give just a little, and that all helps. And we have, of course, major donors and lead gift donors. And please look around you, and if you see any potential, let us know, because many people are just looking for opportunities to do good, and they are ready to help Lions clubs to do good, because our reputation, our image is strong, so we can get some partners. And that's very important. And I thank all the lead gift donors and the major donors. I have met many of them here in India this last week, and I'm very grateful. I thank you so very much for your generosity. Also, one of the things that was very successful in the last campaign, the model clubs. That's a great way, because if a club decides that they want to be model club, it shows that they think internationally. They understand their importance in our Lions Club's international organization. And they are ready, and their club members understand that it's every one of them matters. All of us as a club can give together as a model club, and there are many ways that the club can raise funds so they can do it. And you can all get further information about model clubs. There are several levels of model clubs and several ways to do it. And many clubs have already raised a lot through the last 2 years. So there might not be so much that you have to add. And the new thing this year is the personal giving that I already mentioned. And many have pride in giving personally, and that's really great. And I thank you so much for that. And that shows that you understand that you as an individual can really help to change the world. I know that most of you are already involved in Lions, in LCIF or in the campaign. So all of you might have already set goals for your district or your multiple district. That's great. And most of the goals that are already like a default is based on the history. So we can also be a little bit more ambitious to do more than the goals. What we can really do in every district, we can encourage more clubs to participate, because the club participation is not very high. And it shows that we don't always understand importance of all clubs participating and showing the international understanding. So asking clubs to donate a little bit, ask members to donate a little bit, that will really make a difference. So I thank you again for your generosity, Lions in ISAMI, Lions in Southeast Asia and India. Thank you so much for your generosity. And I thank you also to be willing to participate and do even more this year and next year, so we can be successful and reach our goals. We really need to reach our goals. Otherwise, we will be so disappointed, but we will be so proud and happy when we reach our goals. And we have most often done better than we hoped. And I really hope this time also we will be stronger than we ever knew we could be. Thank you for all this, and I wish you a great success all this year and all next year too, of course. And be brave, be creative, how you plan to raise funds, how you try to encourage members and clubs to be more generous. Be brave and think beyond the horizon. It's always helpful to see that there are many opportunities out there. And thank you for this opportunity to meet you and address you a little bit. And good luck, and AP, back to you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you very much for those words. It's very important that we continue to get this motivation from our leaders because they are the ones who have this global perspective. Friends, we need to pat ourselves a little bit on the back as well because the total amount of funds collected for Campaign 100 are already in the vicinity of $110 million. We are already into the three digits. So these are kind of reassurances that we are on the right track. We just need to keep the momentum going, and we need to generate the momentum in some districts, in some parts where the momentum has really not been generated to the level that we would love. We heard our chairperson talk very much about and very appropriately about the model clubs. Now, this model clubs is a fantastic opportunity. First of all, it builds pride in the clubs for what they do for the foundation. It helps raise funds. It doesn't necessarily dig very deep into the pockets of the lions, and it can be a very important tool, a methodology for raising funds. In MD322, this has been very successful. Rather, if you look at the entire the matrix of the number of model clubs in India and South Asia, the largest number come from MD322, and we have the area leader of MD322 here with us today, and that's Lion GS Hora. Lion GS Hora, I am going to request you to give us your views as to how you have been able to really make this program so successful, get so many model clubs on, and what are you working with the multiple district and the district coordinators and the DG teams, because we all need to learn from each other. We have friends from other multiple districts, and we have friends from certain districts within your multiple district where also this program has not picked up the way it's picked up in some of them. So it's over to you, PID GS Hora, to share your views.
Thank you, PID APC, for giving this opportunity to me. You have rightly said, we are very successful in making the model clubs in MD322. And rightly said, out of the 39 constitutional area model clubs, in India we have 35, and out of 35, 30 are from MD322. This could be possible working with all the clubs, DGT, LCI, district coordinators, and multiple coordinators. It was $750 per dollar per member average to be given for becoming model club, but now it has been brought down to $500 per member average to become the model club. And those who are paying $750 per member average, they will be known as visionary model clubs. Whatever model clubs we have signed earlier, all were the visionary model clubs. Now that will come under the category of that. And the new model clubs are coming either at $500 or $750. There are certain things which we have to clarify to the clubs to becoming the model club. Number one, that is the family members are not calculated. If any club has 30 members, out of that, say there are 5 family members, they will have to pay for 25 members on average membership per member average, not for all the 30 members. That's an important point that has to be clarified to the club. So total pay by the club comes down after deducting the number of family members. Number two, it's not necessary that every member of the club pays the amount. It may be that there are some members in the club who pay the higher amount, maybe $2,000, $5,000, $1,000. Some are paying lesser amount than $500 or $750, whatever it is. Or some of them may not even be paying any money. It has to be average. That is very important. If you go to the club and tell $750 per member or $500 per member, it gives to some of the members, no, I am not in a position to pay. They will not support the program. And if we make it clarify that some of the members may not pay, and then that situation may not arise. Number three, the whatever amount has already been paid by the clubs, even before the campaign period, that is 2017-18, and during the campaign period 2018-19, that will be also treated as paid towards the model club commitment. And the mostly the payment will be more than 5,000 by the model clubs. So they get another 3 years, total period of 5 years, 2017-18, whatever paid, 2018-19, whatever paid, another 3 years, 2019-20, 2021, and 21-22. So the total obligation of the club is distributed over the period of 5 years. So per year average is very less. One of the clubs, which is with the 84 members, becomes a model club. It sounded to them that there's so much amount to be given. When they explained to them, this can be spread over the period. So the club found a very nice way of making the payment. They have a annual subscription of 20,000 rupees. They asked every member to pay just 15,000 more every year for 3 years. That will come 45,000, and around the model club contribution amount required for that little less than 750, and some of the members will become Melvin Jones Fellow. That will make average of $750 per member. So the nice way, just paying 15,000 per year, each member for 3 years, make them the model clubs, not $750 at a time. Another point, very, very important point is that when we are making the model clubs, if we tell in the function, in a program, in the district installation, the conference, we just want if the club to announce that may not be honored by the club board. We have to make some work in advance. What we have done, we have worked with the club to district coordinators and with the district governor to multiple coordinators in advance. There are certain important members in every club. There are some past presidents who are very influential. There are some members who are very influential. There are some members who can pay the higher amount. We have to talk to them separately before asking them to become a model club. We have to make some homework, some background work. We have to talk to the president, secretary, some important member of the club, the past president, and those who can make a payment, higher payment. One of the model club which we have made, we talked to one member separately. He agreed to make a payment of $7,000. One member agreed to $3,000. One member agreed to $1,000. So 11,000 already came in. Then we presented that to the club leadership, that you see, we have 3 donors from the club who are giving $11,000. Now rest of the members have to take load for the balance amount only. So their obligation out of $750 came to only around $350. That also over the period of 5 years. So we have to make some background work, talk to the leadership, talk to the club, and a continuous working is required behind that before getting them announced the model club. Another point is that we have to bring a pride in them. They should feel pride that we are contributing to the club. So we are contributing to the LCIF, and we have to tell what LCIF is doing. The money you are giving is going for the good cause, that is coming back to us, and whatever our districts, our multiples, and our country is giving, we are getting much more back in return back for our lands project. Through a calculation we have seen, whatever we are giving in our multiple, 8 times of that are coming to our multiple as lands to the lands project. That we have to tell them, whatever money you are giving is coming back to you. You have the opportunity of getting that money back for your club projects. That will make them pride that they are donating for a cause. And the recognition to the model club is required everywhere. As soon as they declare model club, a letter should go to them from the leadership, from the district governor. Thank you, congratulations, we are the model club. They should be recognized in the important functions of the district, in the zone social, in the region social, so that they feel pride by contributing. Another very important point is that in a grant criteria is that 15% community impact grant. Whatever money is contributed by a club in a year, if it is $5,000, 15% will come back to the club as a service program, for their service program, and it's very easy to take back that money from LCIF for their service program. Very simple format of application, a 2-page application. The application is just to be made 90 days before the program to be done. The money will come very easily from LCIF. If the club is contributing, say about $15,000 over a period of 3 years, that means every year 5 years giving, 15% of that out of 15,000, $2,250 will come back to the club's service program. So they are not only contributing to the LCIF, they are contributing for the program of the club. This also we have to clarify, and we have to tell to the club that by giving money, you are also accumulating money for the club. This is not necessarily that money has to be used every year. This can be accumulated up to a period of 15 years and can be used for a bigger purpose. So by working on that line, we have seen that it's not very, very difficult to make the model. We have to work continuously on that. We have to plan that, talk to the people, and I'm sure as we have got the success in our multiple, working with the DG teams, the clubs, the LCF coordinator, multiple coordinators, and continuously working with the constitutional area leader PID APC, getting guidance from them, talking in the council meetings from with the district governors. We have got that result and we could able to make that model club. And this model, I'm sure will be successful in every district, every multiple if we work on this line. Thank you, PID APC, for giving me this opportunity. And if any question on that, I'm ready for that.
Thank you very much, PID Hora. Thank you. Now, this is a very important perspective, what we spoke. We heard our chairperson tell us that Melvin Jones Fellowship has always continued to remain a very important source for fundraising for the foundation. On a regular basis, year after year, whether or not the campaign years, Melvin Jones Fellowship has been very important. Model clubs during the campaigns have played a very stellar role, a very key factor. We've seen the success through the Model Club program in the previous campaigns, and this campaign we really need to invigorate the entire process, create the momentum. We need more model clubs in all the districts, in all the multiple districts. PID Hora shared with us some of our views. During our regular discussions, and we keep on exchanging those, have some of those brainstorming sessions as to how to move forward. There is a separate tangential view which has been retained by a colleague with whom I work very closely, and that's PID Sangeeta Jatia. And she has been insistent about stating and asserting that we are forgetting about fundraising, at least in our part of the world, in India and South Asia. When we talk of fundraising, we deem that it implies putting hands in our own pockets. Now, donating by the Lions is good. It's really good. It's important. In our part of the world, Lions take pride. Our lifestyle, our culture, our values in life teach us that. We've grown up with those values in our families. So that's very fine. But when we talk of Lions Club, the Lions Club culture always was and shall continue to be, as far as the DNA of the organization is concerned, through fundraising. What are we doing to support the campaign through fundraising, or what we could do? Can I have some comments from PID Sangeeta Jatia?
Thank you very much. It's definitely important that we go back to those old years when we used to do fundraising in our clubs, but have stopped doing them in the last few years. And why has this stopped? This has stopped because maybe we feel it is more difficult to organize programs, organize some kind of a fundraising event, and it is much easier to write out a check. But that writing out a check probably does not give us the kind of equity that would give us if we actually worked together to create a fundraising project, work through it, and then raise the funds. So my request would be to the entire campaign team, think about it. I'm sure there are very many ways. Of course, in the olden days, I've heard of those balls that they used to have, various Halloween events, or probably fancy dress costume balls where they raised a lot of money. Those days are probably gone. We'll have to think of more innovative and creative ways in which we can raise funds. In fact, the New Voices team this year is working on this very project. In December, we are planning to come out with a whole lot of ideas worldwide where we can give the Lions ideas for fundraising. And if you have any fundraising ideas, we would be very willing to come and join. You would come and join the webinar where we would be talking about this. This came from a discussion we had with our LCIF chairperson, Gudrun, who also felt that, yes, we need to do some creative and innovative fundraisings. And these could be various things. It could be maybe something like going out to the community and finding out what they require, setting up some kind of booths at various fairs and trying to see that whether we can raise funds through those, selling of some items which could give us some funds for our maybe not very large funds, but even small funds could make a difference. So we will come back with a lot of ideas. And if you have any ideas, please do participate in the webinar, which we are going to organize for these fundraising ideas for sure. So I believe there are many things lying there, which we need to really look into and also use in our clubs. especially in our clubs, not really in our districts, but more importantly in our clubs. We should do those fundraisings only for the foundation funds. And last year in our district, they had done something very interesting. You know, before Diwali, everybody wants to gamble a little bit. And this gamble was a very simple gamble. What they did was, in a bag, they put in 60 silver coins. And each of these silver coins had a number to it. Now, a silver coin, as you know, in India at least, it costs something like 400 to 500 rupees. Say it costs 500 rupees. Now, those coins were numbered, and they were from 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, till about 2000 was the last number that they had. Now, these lions, what they had to do was just put in their hand in this bag and pick up any of the coins. Now, if the coin had the figure 1,500, they had to pay 1,500 to get the coin. Now, that was just a fundraising, very simple. And if it had 5, you could just pay 5 rupees and get that silver coin worth 500 rupees. So it was a kind of a gamble where you were doing. But when you put these coins together and you put the entire program together, in every bag of 60 coins, they were saving something like 45,000 rupees. Now, this 45,000 rupees was going towards a contribution for a Melvin Jones Fellow. If one club did it, took a bag, just 60 coins, they used not only with our members, but also outsiders. It was like kind of a lottery that they were doing, simple to do, but very, very effective. And our district got 45 to 50 Melvin Jones Fellows through this program and through this project, a simple fundraising project. I'm sure there are many more projects out there which you have, and if you could get it all together on one page, that would be extremely good. So thank you for this opportunity and wish you all the best with the campaign.
You will note, my friends, that even in the districts where the program has been very successful and we've been able to raise a reasonable amount of money, even in those districts, not more than 25 to 30% of the clubs have participated. And I really mean it. I have the statistics with me. What I'm saying is empirically proven. It's empirically, validated. Not more than 25 to 30% clubs in the districts where the campaign so far is on targets. And where it's really not on targets, it's definitely much lower. So the concept is very clear. Supposing we can get 30, 40, 50, 60,000 rupees out of every club, we need the campaign team, the DG teams, the zone and region chairs, the district, the multiple district coordinators, everybody who's working with a campaign goes back to the clubs and motivates them to get involved in some kind of fundraising where basically the Lions are not paying, but they are doing some kind of effort to raise funds. And we can get even, let's say, $1,000. And in a district where we are missing out 30 to 40 clubs, average size district, 30, 40, 45 clubs we are missing out each year with nothing coming in. We get $1,000 from them. 2 years, it means $80,000 to $90,000 per district. And this can be done by just motivating the clubs, telling them, first of all, giving them that sense of pride about what the foundation is, about what the foundation's success stories are, about how the foundation is helping to change lives through the Lions clubs, through the Lions districts, and then telling them it through a fun way also, we can support this foundation. Of course, we can donate. And as far as donations are concerned, they can start with, say $50. There is a program which is the Lions Share program, and there it can be $50, it can be $100, it can be $200. Even that's recognition. Somebody starts with $50, $100, $200. A few years later, that individual goes on to become a Melvin Jones Fellow. This $50 and $100 will also count towards it. It's going to count towards that amount also. So we need to get as many Lions, close to 100% of our Lions, and definitely 100% of our clubs involved in this program, involved in the fundraising, involved in getting on with the process of fundraising for this organization. Now we will be talking, there are certain goals, and I'll come to those goals later on. But before I come to those goals, we need to get down to the clubs. We need to go deep down and be able to get support of all the clubs. So first we need to get the information to those clubs. We need to do it on a consistent basis. There has to be a follow-up. There has to be some kind of a strategy. And in this respect, I'm going to draw in and request PID Vinod Khanna to please give us his ideas how he believes this could be done, of trying to involve all the clubs and getting the information down to the clubs consistently so that we start getting results. Vinodji.
Thank you very much, AP, for giving me the opportunity. And first of all, let me compliment Oraji, PID Ora. I am for the first time hearing in these 2 years that how the model clubs are being made. I'm sorry to say, as you know, in our part, all the appointments are, as you know, whether it is a multiple coordinator or district coordinators, are done the way they are done. Now, as you have asked a very pertinent question about how to go down the line to the clubs, I think what Oraji has said, none of the even district coordinators and the multiple coordinators are aware of it. My suggestion, if you want to go to down to the club, that we will have to organize one particular seminar in each multiple, wherein all the district coordinators along with the multiple coordinators, they should be invited and they should be explained in detail. And it should be a one-day seminar wherein we can discuss and tell all these things. Let me share with you, only day before yesterday, we had our district installation, and our PIP Naresh ji was the chief guest, and we could get 4 clubs instantly over there itself as a model club. The way he explained to them, it was fantastic. And I don't think that there is any problem in getting more and more clubs as model clubs. The Lions, they are not even aware of this. What Oraji has explained, believe me, I have also heard for the first time during these 2 years. This is the only way how we can succeed and go to down the line with the clubs. And I can tell you, it may be my district or anybody's district, we can achieve the target maybe within this year itself by making minimum 50% of the clubs as model clubs. This is just I want to share with you.
Thank you very much, PID Vinod Khanna, for the information of our friends. PID Vinod Khanna has joined the team as an area leader, and working as an area leader in M2321. PID KM Goel also continues, so we'll have the support of 2 past directors there in that multiple district working as the area leaders. And we really need to, as they say, drill down to the clubs. Drill down to the clubs. Model clubs, fine. Good number of Melvin Jones fellowships, fine. If that's not coming, even small donations, and I continue to repeat, there is a power of small and continuous giving. In our part of the world, we have not harnessed that power. It's a common fact. Can we create amongst the good club habits between say even 100 to 200 Lions in our each district who would contribute, let's put it, 1,000 rupees a month for the foundation, and not limited to the campaign. It would continue even beyond the campaign. Can we find, and I think it's simple, it's not so difficult. Our average district size is say 3,000 members in India and South Asia. Some parts is even more, I am aware. Nepal districts, they'll tell me they've got 15,000 members there, 12,000 members there, that's fine. Some in India will also say that they've got 10,000 members, and that's fine. I'm saying an average 3,000 member district. Can we get 200 members out of those 3,000 who say that we'll make it a habit? We'll give 1,000, maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000 rupees every month to the foundation. Look at the impact, what happens over a period of 5 years if we can get 200 such individuals in every district. This campaign will come, Campaign 100 will come to an end in 2 years, but Campaign 100 is a concept which must become a good club habit for the future, so that the foundation continues to harness this from this momentum which is generated during this period. So these issues are very important. We need, that's what I said, we need support from all sides. We need supports from all individuals. and we need support from every club. That is the responsibility. And as far as the issue raised by PID Vinod Khanna about seminars to be done in every district, please go ahead. We have our associates in the foundation at Oakbrook, at Mumbai office, who will support you with the material, who will support you with the presentations. If you need support from any of the constitutional area leaders, we could do it, or we could even organize webinars like this. And at a time which is convenient to everybody, you could draw in. So choose whatever you want to do, and that would be possible. I'm also happy to say that at this point of time, we have International Director JP Singh, who's with us at this point of time in this webinar. And JP, our good friend, is perhaps in a council meeting. So I was informally told that he might be sitting with a number of district governors and DG team members. I don't know whether that's or he's sitting by himself. I'm going to unmute ID JP Singh and ask him to give us his views on what can be done in building the momentum in districts where the momentum has still not been built up. ID JP. I think there is audio. There is an audio challenge here. Okay, so let me try again by unmuting IDJP. Just give me a minute. I'm unmuting IDJP again. Yes, JP, please.
Yeah, PID AP Singh, I'm glad that you are here and you have given a lot of information, including our past president. And we are all council members sitting here in Lucknow, and almost everyone is listening to you, what you said and what President had said. And we are hopeful that we will be able to achieve our targets, whatever targets we have given to you from multiple district 3 to 1. The entire council is sitting with me. Our council chairperson and the council officers are sitting with me. We will definitely, and our PID line, KM Goel, who is our area leader, he's also with us. And multiple coordinator line, JS Chauhan is also here. Everybody is here, and we are also discussing, and we will be having a special session tomorrow in our council to discuss that how we will achieve our targets, and we assure you of full cooperation and support in this cause, and we will do our duty whatever it is desired from the multiple district G21. Thank you.
Thank you, PID JP. But if you can keep that microphone going, and we have area leader PID KM Goel there, and I had sent in a request to PID KM Goel. I have been.
I'm giving it to him only.
Yeah, I have been specially charged with this task by our LCIF chairperson to speak and very properly, appropriately, respectfully speak to all individuals who had made large commitments in the previous fiscal year for maybe major donors and lead donors, and from whom the funds have still not started coming in. Goel Saab, we would like to know strategies. What are the strategies that you would like to adopt in going and speaking to those individuals, getting a timetable from them, and getting them to start contributing towards the fundraising of the campaign?
JP, AP Singh, we are working out the strategies to collect the maximum funds against Campaign 100, and we are having a discussion tomorrow with all the DGs and LCF coordinators in tomorrow's meeting, and we'll send you the total report, and progress will be good in the next few days. Thank you very much, AP.
Right. Thank you very much, Goel Saab. Just repeating once again, this is not trying to get on somebody's back, but the campaign leadership would definitely like the leadership in the respective multiple districts to speak to individuals who had committed to be lead donors and major donors in the previous year, and from whom funds have not started coming in. We do understand that they have a time to pay. We do understand that they can pay over the next 3 years as well, but we do expect, and I think they will even understand our point, that they need to start supporting the campaign with a small or a reasonable percentage at least, and we can understand from them what their timetable would be. Because once that process starts, I'm sure every campaign pledge would get completed. So that is one of the important things that we need to address, that we need to take up as we move forward. I had sent in a special request, but the individual has not been able to join, to Vike Ladia to talk to us about corporate donations and CSR as to what he believed could be done for the CSR. If any of the participants has any idea about what they believe could be done to bolster our collections through the CSR method route, will you please raise your hand and then I will unmute you. I will unmute you if you raise your hand if you have any ideas for raising funds through the CSR. I see one individual who's put up his hand. His name is Kamal Kishore Mantri. I'm going to unmute him. And before I unmute him, I need to tell everybody here, he comes from a club and he is the district coordinator for LCIF. His club was the first club in India to be the 100% MJF club. His club was then the first club in India and the constitutional area to be a 200% MJF club, which means every member of his club is one diamond MJF. And now they have pledged only day before yesterday in the presence of the LCIF chairperson that his club would be the first club in India and in the constitutional area to be a 300% MJF club. So thank you for starting this trend, Kamal Mantri, and you for your ideas on fundraising through the corporates. You put up your hand and we've unmuted you. Kamal, you're unmuted. I will mute him and unmute him again because that succeeded the last time with JP. Let me see if it succeeds here again. I'm sorry there, although he's put up his hand, but there is okay. He's got a question. What's the question?
He says, just like in model clubs, you allow an average of the members as a contribution.
Okay, I'm sorry. Kamal has an audio challenge, but he has a question. He sent a question through the text message and we'll read out the question.
So he says, and he asks that just like in a model club, it is allowed that every individual member does not have to pay, but even if one member or two members or three members pay, the amount is credited to them, but the club becomes a visionary model club or a model club. So if a club is a 100%, 200% or 300% Melvin Jones Fellows, can't this same analogy be extended to those clubs? Not that it doesn't mean that every club has to pay, every member has to pay, but could it be an average? That is his question.
Yes, Kamal, a simple methodology. Even we don't even have to go to our associates at Oak Brook to ask this question. If you can find, supposing there are 25 members in a club, and supposing they want to be a 100% MJF club, and out of those 25, there are 22 who are paying and 3 who are not ready to pay. I'm giving it an example because with examples, it's easier to understand. You need to find somebody from the other 22 who will pay the balance 3,000. But that balance 3,000 that they pay, for that money which they contribute, the Melvin Jones Fellowship should be attributed to those 3 members. So those 3 members get the Melvin Jones Fellowship, although they have not paid from their own pocket. At the end of the day, every member of the club is a Melvin Jones Fellow, and that's a 100% MJF club. So basically, it is that you could have somebody else contributing for somebody else, but that Melvin Jones Fellowship has to be attributed to every member of the club. That is the only methodology through which it could apply. Now, before we conclude, very briefly, I throw this webinar open for questions. Any of the participants has any question, please raise your hand. And you know there is a hand icon. If you press the hand icon, we would be able to see it and we would unmute you. There are no questions. So the time is also up. We have our associates from the Mumbai office who have joined us. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much. And we've repeated to our participants that if they need any help, any support, any material, backup material from you, they will contact you, and we are always sure that you will support them in the best manner possible. For the information of everybody, this webinar has been recorded. and we will send you the link for the recordings of this webinar. For those who could not join, or if you would like to use this webinar or even parts of this webinar to play at any point of time, you could use it. This would continue to remain on our website. So we will send you the links for the webinar. We will continue with this exercise because today, to be precise, we have 44 individuals who joined this webinar. Registration was 170. It's okay. Maybe this is also a trend. So 44 is not bad. And these are individuals from different multiple districts in India and South Asia that have joined. So that's good. Distances get covered. We take information to the members, and maybe in the future webinars, we'll have a larger audience and more number of individuals joining us. And we will take this up at least once a month, and if required, even more. So we will have reviews, discussions through these webinars. Till then, please remember, this is Every Lions campaign. This is not the campaign of the campaign team alone. There is nothing called a campaign team. The team is Lions Clubs International. The team is every member of Lions Clubs International. The team is every club that constitutes Lions Clubs International. This is a joint effort. This is a joint initiative. There are some people who will wear a badge. There are some people who will have responsibilities. All that's very fine. But this is Every Lions campaign. Let's own up that responsibility. Let's take pride in what our foundation is doing, and let's take it up from there. With this, we close this webinar. Thank you very much.